according to John. Jesus went to the Mount of Olives, but early in the morning he arrived again in the temple area. And all the people started coming to him, and he sat down and taught them. Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery, and made her stand in the middle. And they said to him, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the very act of committing adultery. Now in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. So what do you say?" They said this to test him, so that they could have some charge to bring against him. And Jesus bent down and began to write on the ground with his finger. But when they continued asking him, he straightened up and said to them, "Let the one among you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." Again he bent down and wrote on the ground. And in response, they went away one by one, beginning with the eldest. So he was left alone with the woman before him. Then Jesus straightened up and said to her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" And she replied, "No one, sir." Then Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go, and from now on, do not sin anymore." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Well, now we're coming down the home stretch towards Easter, which is only 2 weeks away. And we know that the season of Lent is kind of closing in on us, and we want to look upon ourselves and see how well we've done during these last few weeks, and if we're truly going to be prepared to celebrate the Feast of Easter in a worthy fashion. In the Gospel today, we see the followers of Christ bringing a woman caught in the very act of adultery. And ordinarily she would be stoned to death, but Jesus just kind of wrote in the sand and said, "Let you who is without sin cast the first stone." No one threw a stone at her. And Jesus then forgave her and said, "Neither do I. Go in peace and sin no more." We see his great willingness to be forgiving of someone in that situation. And we know that all of us have been sinners and look for the Lord's forgiveness. This coming Tuesday, we have a Sacrament of Reconciliation both here and at St. Jude's, and Wednesday at Sacred Heart for the penitential sacrament during this Lenten season. Time for all of us to go and ask to have our sins taken away and cleansed to prepare ourselves worthily for the Feast of Easter. We know that as we look upon our own lives, perhaps we can say, "Well, gee, I haven't done anything wrong." And I'm sure that's the case for most people. And yet, we know that each one of us being human nature being what it is, that all of us have room for improvement. Very often we may not have done something wrong in a positive way, but we might think about the sins of omission, things that we have not done, that we could have done or should have done. And these are the things that probably most of us have to face and that our Lord is concerned about. The great Russian author, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who was a great intellect and great author from Russia, who was in prison during the World War II in a concentration camp for 8 years. And afterwards he got out and was exiled from Russia. He came to the United States. And he lectured at Harvard and Stanford, and won many awards, many accolades. He was a great promoter of peace and justice. Was a great writer. He wrote Gula Archipelago, a great work of his that for all of us to sort of understand and comprehend the meaning of freedom, all that goes with it. Well, before he was in prison, he became friends with a Russian soldier, and that Russian soldier and he were inseparable. He said they were just alike in almost every way. They had the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same ideals, same interests, and they spent time together in prison. When they got out of prison, we see Solzhenitsyn came and was a great intellect and did a great deal of work promoting peace and justice and harmony in the world, and is a very, very close friend to the diametrically opposed position. And he became a member of the Russian army. He became one of the ones who would interrogate people and then put them to death. And some of his friends said, "Well, how could somebody that was so close to you and the same interests of you, and you were so close together, he could turn out the way he did, interrogating people and putting them to death, and this is the way he was now?" And it was a good question. Solzhenitsyn had trouble answering it, but he said, You know, he said, it's like anything. He said, perhaps if I was in those same circumstances at the same time and place, it might have happened to me. I could have been that person. But he said, that's human nature being what it is. That's the way this person turned out. And we have to begin to look and examine our own lives now and see how good or bad we've been in the light of Almighty God. We know that so often we think of sin as only doing something wrong, when we offend someone or commit a crime or do something that's wrong in this sense. But very often, and more important in the eyes of the Lord, is things that we should do but do not do, or sins of omission. And these are things maybe we should concentrate on. Because our Lord said, what you do not do to these, the least of my brethren, you do not do for me. And so we have to ask ourselves, how many opportunities have we had to do things during the season of Lent or any time and just not done them, thought nothing of it? Maybe little things. Maybe you're going to go to the grocery store to go grocery shopping. And it'd be very easy for you to say to your neighbor down the street who's homebound and can't get out, would you like to go grocery shopping with me? I'll give you a chance to go out and you can do your grocery shopping and I'll drive you home. And yet we don't do that. And that person is homebound and never has that chance to get out. Or perhaps you go and you're going to have good intentions to stop and make a visit at a nursing home to visit a relative or a friend, and you just pass by the nursing home without ever stopping in for 10 or 15 minutes for a little visit to cheer the person up. It's another sin of omission. And so often we have so many opportunities to do things to help out others, to reach out to others. We're helping them with a meal, with food, with a visit. So many opportunities in church with different projects. We know helping the poor and the needy in our community. And we let these opportunities go by. And there are things that we could easily do. Will take so little effort, and yet maybe it's not because we intentionally don't want to do them, but we just kind of don't get to it. We don't get around to doing it. Doesn't seem to be high on our priority list or something that we feel that we have to do. And these are the things that the Lord is really asking us to think about during this season of Lent, to look to the future, to put these things on our list of things to do that are so important and meaningful because they're helpful not only to us but to others and bringing us closer to Almighty God. These are the kind of things that are very important in the life of each one of us, and we should be ready and willing to look upon them as things that are of prime importance in our own lives, reaching out to others to do good deeds, to help others, to do a helping hand, particularly in time of need. If we do that, then truly we'll be preparing ourselves for Easter in the proper way, and we can truly say that our sins will be truly forgiven, and we make that sacrament of reconciliation be more meaningful to all of us. We have good intentions to strive to reach out to others in the future.